Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Welcome to AERG for International Speech Contest. I am Animesh, the sergeant at arms for the day. I would like to begin by stating the mission of a Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. It's the only way we meet meeting has changed, but our purpose, our goal, our energy, and our commitment remains unchanged. As a famous saying goes, perfection is not attainable, but when we chase perfection, we catch up excellence. Our ground rules will help us do so. Now let us visit the ground rules for today's meeting. No flash photography is permitted during the entire contest. Please turn off all the noise making devices like telephone or put them in silent mode. Please disable the company VPN. Let's not overload the VPN with this video call. Kindly close Outlook, Skype as do not disturb. Let's take 10 seconds to do the same. Please put yourself on mute so that the speaker won't be disturbed. Keep your video on and sit in good lighting position so that you are visible to all. In this entire meeting, do not talk about sex, politics, or religion. With this note, I would like to hand up the meeting to contest chair, a person who is a wonderful orator and an amazing person, Chandrakant. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Animesh. Can we all start the session with a good round of applause, please? Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I welcome all to the Area G4 Table Topics and International Speech Contest. Before we begin, let me address the dignitaries in the room, the Chief Justice DTM Jagadish, Area Director G4 Nikhil Arora, Area Director C2 Padma Mohan, and in case if I am unable to identify others, the other area and district dignitaries that are available in the call. Competition offers a chance for participants to gain the experience, show their skills, and analyze and evaluate the outcome. I'm sure every year hundreds of Toastmasters are taking advantage of these competitions, and that's how you see these yearly competitions from Toastmasters, ISC, all the table topics gaining the momentum every year. Today, I'm contest chair for such a pleasant and blissful contest. Remember, contestants, the secret to success is doing the best you have. Forget about you might win or you might lose. Being successful is all about doing the best. Give all you have. Everyone might remember the winner, but you will always remember your journey. Today, all our role takers are flooded with ladies. 77% of our role takers today are Madam Toastmasters. Without much ado, let me hand over the stage to the silver-tongued orator of Western Digital, Toastmaster Chaitra, the contest master for the speech contest. Over to you, Toastmaster Chaitra.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chandrakant. That was really overwhelming. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests, and my dear friends. I, Chaitra Srinivasan, will be your contest master for the International Speech Contest today. Welcome to International Speech Contest of Area G4. The purpose of International Speech Contest is to provide an opportunity for speakers to improve their speaking abilities, recognize the best as encouragement to all, and to provide an opportunity for us to learn by observing the more skilled speakers who have benefited from their Toastmasters training. We will conduct this contest using the same procedure as Toastmasters International uses in conducting the International Speech Contest online. The winner of first place in today's contest will represent at Division G level International Speech Contest to be held on 10th April 2021. I shall now read out the International Speech Contest rules for the audience in brief. To be eligible, be a contest, be a Toastmaster in good standing of a club in good standing, not presently be an international, district, or area officer, nor have declared the intent to run for such offices. Contestants must have completed at least Project 6 from the Competent Communicator Manual or 2 levels of pathways. It has been confirmed that all the contestants today are eligible. The time for international speech contest is 5 to 7 minutes. Our timers for the day are Toastmaster Divya and Toastmaster Neha. Contestants, please ensure to pin both the timers to your screens. The timing cards will be displayed as follows. Timekeepers, can you please activate the light as follows. Green light at 5 minutes. Yellow light at 6 minutes. Red light at 7 minutes. And the red card will stay on until the speaker has completed speaking. No notice shall be given should a speaker go over time. Any contestant who speaks for less than 4 minutes 30 seconds or more than 7 minutes 30 seconds will be disqualified. The judges have been instructed not to consider time in their ranking of the speakers. Timing starts with the first word uttered or when the speaker uses any form of gesture, smile, or nonverbal communication to the audience. There will be 1 minute of silence between the speakers so the judges may complete their ballot sheets, after which the audio and video connectivity of the next contestant will be checked. At the end of the contest, the audience is requested to remain silent until Chief Judge and tally counter leave the room for finalizing the results. There is a secret tiebreaker judge known only to the Chief Judge. The Chief Judge for today's contest will be DTM Jagadish and the contest chair will be Toastmaster Chandrakant. Protests will be limited to judges and contestants only and must be lodged with the Chief Judge or the contest chair prior to the announcement of the winners. Once the results are announced, there will be no change. Announcement of the contest winners is final unless the list of winners is announced incorrectly, in which case the Chief Judge, ballot counters, or timers are permitted to immediately interrupt to correct the error. Participation certificates will be handed over towards the end of the contest. Each contestant will be introduced in the following manner. Contestant number, contestant name, speech title, contestant name. We have 4 contestants contesting today. The contestants' speaking order has been randomly chosen. For the benefit of the judges, role players, and audience, I will now read out the speaking order of the contestants. Contestant number 1, Agnev. Contestant number 2, Nitin. Contestant number 3, Ramya. Contestant number 4, Wasim. Here are a few reminders before we begin. No one will be allowed into the meeting when a contestant is speaking. If you have to join or leave the meeting, please do so in the 1-minute interval or after the contest. There shall be video recording done of all the contestants. Consent has been taken from all the contestants for the same. Contestants, kindly ensure all electronic noise-producing devices such as mobiles, tablets are switched off or turned into silent mode. Let us do that in the next 5 seconds. Thank you. All other participants of the meeting will be put on mute and chat with everyone will be disabled by the moderator. Please remember that no contestant should quote the previous contestant in speech. The judges, contestants, functionaries, and arms have been fully briefed on the rules. The contestants have been informed about the timers. Are there any questions from the contestants or any contest official before we get started? Thank you. Chief Judge, shall we begin the contest?
Yes.
Thank you, Chief Judge. Let us now begin International Speech Contest of Area G4. In order to maintain fairness to each contestant, I now request the audience to maintain silence for 1 minute. Timers, please start the timer for 1 minute. Thank you, timers. Can we have contestant number 1, Toastmaster Agnev, to please unmute?
Yeah, I did already.
Contestant number 1, let's have an audio video check. Kindly repeat after me. Area G4 rocks.
Oh. Area G4 rocks.
Chief Judge, can you please confirm contestant number 1 is both visible and audible?
Yes.
Timers, can you please confirm the same?
Yes. Yes.
All the best, contestant. Contestant number 1, Agnev, the nine-tailed rat. The nine-tailed rat, Agnev.
When I was very young, one of my teachers used to tell us stories in order to teach us mathematics. In the middle of the stories, she used to ask us questions to keep it engaging. Today, I might also be asking questions. So everyone, pay attention. So the story goes that once there was a rat. This rat was born with 9 tails. Now this guy was super frustrated because his friends, they used to tease him all the time. So one fine day, the rat decides that he'll be cutting his tails off. So the rat goes back, grabs a scissor and cuts one of his 9 tails. So Mazahir, if a rat with 9 tails cuts one of his tails, how many tails remain?
8.
Aren't you the most intelligent little child? Her reaction, not mine. And then she used to continue, okay, he cuts another one of his tails. How many tails remain? And a child used to say, ma'am, 7. And she's like, you're the most intelligent little child. And the person who just said it was there thinking, you remember you said that to me too? But she continued and she did it with so much energy that by the end of the exercise, 9 of us, we started feeling that we are the most intelligent people, in the entire universe. Then we moved to class 11, took science. But this story is not about us. The story is about that rat who kept cutting his tails off. So towards the end, that rat is left with no tails and he's still sad and frustrated. So our teacher used to ask us, do you know why he was sad and frustrated? And then she said that he was sad because that rat, he never stood up for himself. So none of his friends ever did for him. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, guests. When I was in first year, me and a few of my friends, we decided to participate in a competition where we'd be building a remote-controlled aeroplane. My team consisted of 4 people. The first person, Samarth, the guy who did all the work. Second person, Chirag, the guy who did nothing. Third person, me, the guy who had the nickname, Unwanted Garbage. Fourth person, Tejinder, the guy who was not just a student, but also an entrepreneur, which is just a very fancy way of telling people in almost all the subjects. So our dream team got together and we started working on this aeroplane. We work for the next 7 days very hard. We do a very good job. Our plane works very well. So we take the plane, we go to IIT Roorkee. Now, 1 hour before the competition, we were informed that there's a small change in rules. They tell us that, listen, till now, our plane was being launched from hand and then it used to fly. They said that will not be allowed. They told us that we'll be given a 100-meter strip. We have to use first 10 meters as run up. And then the next 90 meters, our plane had to fly. We said, okay, minor inconvenience. We added a pair of extra tires. We did not test the plane. Now we're at the starting line. Samarth starts the engine. Our plane starts running. First 5 meters, our plane is running. We are excited. The crowd is excited. The anchor of the competition, excited. 10 meters, our plane is still running. We are excited. The crowd is excited. Anchor of the competition, very excited. 50 meters, our plane is still running. We are confused. Crowd is laughing. Anchor has tears in his eyes. 100 meters, our plane is still running. It never flew. At this point, we thought we should stop the plane. And when we tried stopping the plane, we realized we had lost control. So our plane went straight ahead, collided into a wall, and the tires came off. We were embarrassed. Crowd was having the time of their life. Anchor got up, looked at the crowd, and said, everyone, shh. At least we all can agree that this was a very grounded performance. Now, me and Chirag, we looked at each other, we started giggling. Now, while we are giggling, Tejinder comes from behind us and looks at us and says, listen, we made this plane with a lot of efforts. You should stand by your efforts. I said, Tejinder, we are already out of the competition. Let's chill. So we sat on the sidelines, we started chilling. Now, what we saw was all the other teams were as bad as we were. So by the end of the first round, we were back in the competition. And the extra thing about tires was now removed. Now, Samarth really wanted to nail the last round, so he decided to give us a few instructions. So he stood there and started telling us that, listen, when my arms reach here, I'll say start. That is when you start the plane. Do not do it before that. Blades are very sharp. They'll cut my hands. I will die. Are you guys listening? We said, yes, Samarth, we are listening. Chirag was holding the controller and he was not listening. So Samarth looked at Chirag while holding the plane like this and asked Chirag, were you listening? Chirag said, yes, Samarth. Samarth said, okay, then what do you do when I say start? And Chirag started the plane. Next 30 seconds, we saw flesh and blood. Then Samarth was on the ground and he was saying, please tell my mom I love her very much. He said, Samarth, you are not going to die. In our defense, Samarth did not die. But we lost the only person who actually knew how to operate the plane. So now we're in the final round, we do not know what to do. This is when Chirag moves forward. He said, listen, I'm the lead bowler of the college cricket team. I have strength in my arms. I'll be the one launching the plane. I created this month. I'll be fixing it. We said, yes, Chirag, you're the rock star. So now we give Chirag the plane. Where again at the starting line, the competition starts. And then we see Chirag is taking a run up with the aeroplane. We think, okay, new approach. Then Chirag does a little bit of a jump. At this point, we all think something can go wrong. Then Chirag does an arm swing and launches the plane straight into the ground. Now the plane is in 3 pieces. Then Chirag looks at me and says, Agniv, turn the engine on. As if that would fix the problem. I cannot look at the crowd anymore. The crowd is boisterous. Anchor gets up once again, looks at the crowd, says, everyone, shh. At least we all can agree that this was a ground-breaking performance. Now, at this point, I'm laughing very loudly. Now, while I'm doing that, Tejinder comes from behind. He said, listen, stand by your own ideas, stand by your efforts, do not laugh at yourself. I said, man, have a sense of humor. So I kept on laughing, and the audience, they laughed with me. So we laughed together for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And it was 12 in the night. I was there filling my water bottle. A random guy from IIT comes in who I do not even know. He looked at me and he started laughing. But his was the kind of laugh which made me uncomfortable. Toastmasters, have you ever been in a situation where just a single laugh is enough to violate your self-esteem? Let me tell you something today. If you start laughing at your own efforts, then at first the crowd, they laugh with you, but by the end, they will be laughing at you. Remember those kids in class 12th who were laughing because they took science? Many of them dropped off. Remember me, 7 days to create that plane. Many people from IT still think I'm an idiot. Remember Tejinder, the guy who was an entrepreneur? In 4th year, he made a company which created automated curtains. Last year, his company had a turnover of 50 crore rupees. He never laughed at his own ideas, so nobody laughed with him or at him. Stand by your creations, stand by your failures. And when you're doing that, if somebody tells you, hey, have a sense of humor, then look at them and tell them the exact same thing which my teacher told us back in the day. Tell them that, by not laughing at my own efforts, I'm standing up for myself. Because if I don't stand up for myself, then none of them will ever do it for me. Stand up. Madam Toastmaster.
We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Timers, please start the 1 minute timer. Thank you, timers. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Nitin. Let's have a quick audio video check. Kindly repeat after me. Area G4 rocks.
Area G4 rocks.
Chief Judge, kindly confirm if contestant number 2 is audible and visible.
Yes, it's audible and visible.
Timers.
Yes.
Thank you. All the best, contestant. Contestant number 2, Nitin. You are awesome. You are awesome. Nitin.
If being awesome was a crime, I'd be serving a life sentence. Madam Contest Master, dear Toastmasters, and my fellow awesome human beings. Back in school, we had a myth that you can never score 100% in English. The English teacher will always cut at least 1 mark because there's always room for improvement. Growing up, we have been conditioned to believe that we can never be perfect. And it has come to a point where we seriously underestimate ourselves in our life. How? Well, thank you for asking, audience. Here's how. Number 1 is that growing up, we've always been told to stay humble. We've been told to stay grounded. We've been told that if you even acknowledge the fact that you're getting successful, you'll get too ahead of yourself, which will lead to an eventual downfall. To a point where now if you do something good and if someone appreciates you, you don't know how to deal with that appreciation. Like in my personal example, when someone appreciates me, there are 2 outcomes to it. Outcome number 1 is I reject that appreciation. Hey, 100% on maths? That's amazing, dude. Oh, thanks. I didn't do anything. Paper was too easy, much. There was a topper sitting in front of me. God came and wrote for me. I didn't do anything. Why? Why are we so ashamed to say, hey, thank you? You know, I was up till 4 a.m. studying that night. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I drank 10 cups of coffee. And just so that I stay awake and study, I was studying on the commode. So thank you. I worked really hard for it. Or the second way of dealing with appreciation is you reciprocate that appreciation back, even though it's not necessary. Wearing a blazer looking amazing, Nitin. Oh, thanks, man. I see you're breathing. Nice. Again, why? Why can't we just say thank you, leave it at that, and not look arrogant? As a generation, we do not know how to take appreciations. Are you with me on this, ladies and gentlemen? Let's do a thumbs up if you agree with me so far. All right, perfect. Which brings me to point number 2 of us underestimating ourselves, which is self-doubt. Growing up, I'm sure most of us have had self-doubt at least once in our life. We are constantly wondering whether we are good enough for the good things in life. Back in college, a friend of mine used to say, hey, I'm laughing a lot Maybe God will make me cry tomorrow just to balance out the universe. Do you see how sad that is? Laughter is the purest form of human happiness. And in the middle of it, someone is wondering about the possibility of something bad happening to them in the future. There's layers of sadness in this. We are constantly beating ourselves up, constantly bashing ourselves up for no reason at all. Self-doubt, ladies and gentlemen, are you with me on this as well? Let's do a thumbs up if you are. Yes, yes. All right, great, 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 great. It's not great that we've had self-doubt, just great that we are on the same page right now. Now you might ask me, how does this contribute to us undermining ourselves? And that's the great question, ladies and gentlemen. But before I answer that, here's another question for you. Have you ever told someone, hey, I'm really glad that you are a part of my life. Thank you. Have you ever done that? Yes. Drunk or sober? 3 a.m. on those lonely nights? Yes, yes, yes. For being there. And what's the intent behind this message? You're telling someone that, hey, you are in my life. That makes you awesome. Fair enough. But has it ever occurred to you that maybe they are there in your life because of another reason? Ladies and gentlemen, to me, friendship is me investing my resources into you, which is my time, my effort, and my emotions into you, because I expect a return of investment, which is hopefully an equal amount of time, effort, and emotions from your side as well. So if someone is there in your life, there are two reasons to it. One, because they are good, because they are awesome. And two, and most importantly, because you are awesome and you put a value in that relationship as well. But we never think of this, mainly because of the two things that we discussed in the start. Self-doubt and humility, making us believe that it's the other person who's making a difference and not you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is really sad. And I think it's time that we break this, just like how we break any other bad habit. We've all grown up and evolved. And in the process, we have broken many bad habits. We've broken bad habits like biting our nails, broken bad habits like picking our noses. We've broken bad habits like listening to Honey Sing songs. So why can't we break the bad habit of not giving ourselves enough credit? Look, I understand it is important for us to be humble. But at the same time, it is equally important for us to know our worth, to know what we deserve, and to rightfully have some appreciation for that. So the next time you tell someone, hey, I'm really glad that you are a part of my life. Thank you. Please do that. But at the same time, I want you to pat yourself on the back and hug yourself for being good enough for them. When you click on end meeting and go back to your lives in a couple of hours from now, I want you to go with the belief that all of you are awesome in your own little ways. And don't you dare let anyone tell you otherwise. On that note, my name is Toastmaster Nitin, and I'm fantastically awesome. Thank you so much.
Can we try now, Chetan?
We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Timers, please start the 1 minute timer. Thank you, timers. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Ramya. Let's do a quick audio video check. Kindly repeat after me. Area G4 rocks.
Area G4 rocks.
Chief Judge, please confirm the contestant is both visible and audible. Timers, can you please confirm the same?
Yes.
Thank you. All the best, contestant. Contestant number 3, Ramya. Do not build to last, but build to adapt. Do not build to last, but build to adapt. Ramya.
It's not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change will. This is an evergreen quote by famous Charles Darwin. Sometimes being perfect won't help, right? Have you guys heard of Choluteca Bridge? I hadn't either until not so long ago. It's a 448 meters bridge which is built over the river Choluteca in Honduras in Central America, a region which is very notorious for storms and hurricanes. So they had decided to build a bridge which could withstand the extreme weather condition. So they had contracted a Japanese firm who was very well known for their precision and the quality. This Japanese smart guy built a solid bridge which could withstand any kind of a natural calamity. This modern day marvel was open for use in 1988, but unfortunately in the same year, this region of Honduras was hit by a hurricane Mitch. This caused a considerable damage to its region and its infrastructure. Many bridges in this region were completely damaged, but this newly established Choluteca Bridge survived with only minimal damage. Even though this bridge was in its near perfect condition, the roads which was leading to this bridge had completely washed away with no sign of its prior existence. And the more impressive part was the river which was flowing beneath this Choluteca Bridge had curved itself to a different direction because of this massive flooding. So this is the image of the Choluteca Bridge now after the hurricane. So as you guys can see, the roads are not connected and the river is also curved to a new channel. So this bridge was once popularly known as the Bridge of Rising Sun, but now it's called as the Bridge to Nowhere. So as you guys can see, the bridge is still perfect, but it's completely lost its purpose. Good afternoon, Toastmasters, judges, and the contestant. This happened 22 years ago, and this bridge is gaining popularity in like recent time. Because the lesson what we can learn from the Choluteca Bridge is more relevant today than ever before. We all know that the world is changing in a way that we have never imagined, and the Choluteca Bridge is a terrific metaphor for what can happen if we do not adapt ourselves to this transforming world. Why I say it's more relevant today? Because we did not have a same lifestyle a year ago. When the lockdown was announced, we always so anxious as to how we're going to adapt to a massive change like this. But fortunately, we did not be like the Choluteca Bridge. In fact, the businesses, they beautifully embraced and adapted this change through digitalization. We have reached a stage like where there is no need for us to step out of the house and everything can be done in a click of a single button, like online classroom training, online medical consultation, online marriages are happening. So we are revolutionizing the world. We even started to do like work from home in order to continue the business. And who knows if this is going to be our future work-life culture. And be it having a healthier eating habits, we have adapted to improve our immune system. And now like a nutritionist, like we know what to eat and what not to eat. And on a behavioral adaptation, without hand sanitization and mask, our daily routine, like it doesn't even start. All these changes could have been like really hard for us to digest in the beginning, but here we are successfully adapted ourselves to this new normal. So as I speak about adaptability, I remember the name of a corporate monster who was ruling the world for decades, but it failed to adapt in a particular time. And because of that, its survival was completely pushed to risk. It's none other than the Nokia brand. In the market, the traditional phones were getting replaced with these high-end smartphones, and the Nokia was the still only one who was still manufacturing these older version of the phones, whereas all its competitors were like pouring in market with these highly advanced smartphones. Since the smartphones being so affordable in price, the entire cult of society had to shift from this traditional phones to this high-end smartphones. Even then, Nokia did not realize as to what was going on, or neither did it come up with like any kind of strategy. Eventually, all its targeted customers had to move from this traditional phones to the smartphones, like leaving Nokia like far behind in the market. So being said, be it in a business or in a career or in our life, for us to sustain in this ever-changing world, we should be having a flexible mindset and an attitude in life and be ready to accept like any challenges that comes in our way. Build to last might be the popular mantra, but build to adapt could be the way to go for. Have you been like the Choluteca Bridge like in any part of your life? If yes, you guys know what to do. Thank you, and over to Contest Master.
We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Timers, please start the 1 minute timer. Thank you, timers. Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Wasim, can we unmute him, please? Zoom moderator, can you please unmute contestant number 4? Thank you. Let's do a quick audio video check. Kindly repeat after me. Area G4 rocks.
Area G4 rocks.
Chief Judge, kindly confirm contestant number 4 is both visible and audible.
Yes, visible and audible.
Timers, please confirm the same. Timers.
I see that they have confirmed that, Chaitra. You can proceed.
Thank you. All the best, contestant. Contestant number 4, Wasim, girl child. Girl child, Wasim.
Madam Toastmaster, honorable guests, and fellow Toastmasters. A few years into my marriage, I was in Mecca performing my pilgrimage. I made a dua, I made a prarthana, I made a silent prayer. I asked Allah for a son who will fulfill all my unfinished dreams. I asked God for a son who will start another Google, a son who will be well known, unlike his not so famous, anonymous dad. I asked the Paramatma for a son who I wished to be, but never became. I asked for a son who I desired to become, but never had the courage to be. But much to my disappointment, a daughter was born. I was angry with my creator. I was annoyed with the Almighty, who I thought always answered my prayers. However, all my anger disappeared when I held my daughter for the first time in my arms. All my desires, the fetish for the male, melted when I saw the sparkle in my daughter's eyes. It was at that moment I decided to bring my daughter like a boy. I gave her education like I would give my son. I encouraged her to dream big, just like I would encourage my son. I asked her to think big like a boy, to excel in her academics, and she did more than that. Today, as I see my daughter outperforming her boy classmates, a mixed sense of and guilt passes through me. What a stupid father I was, wishing for a male. In the 6th century Arab, before Prophet Muhammad was born, fathers would bury their daughters alive because they thought daughters would bring shame to the family. In the Islamic Arab culture, where everything was measured in terms of shame and honor, daughters were considered a shame and sons honor, because sons brought name to the family. Why invest in a daughter when she's a pariah dhan, pariah mal? Why waste time in raising a daughter when she will anyway get married outside? Why invest in a daughter when she's anyway not going to adopt my surname? Why pour unnecessary love into that useless creature when she's anyway going to be someone else's? The Arabs would bury the child alive. As the mother is about to deliver the child, the father would keep a spade and a pixel next to the delivery bed. The moment he knows it's a girl, he would waste no time and bury the child alive immediately. How stupid was the father! If he had been born in the 21st century age of medical advances, the age of prenatal tests, had he known about the MTP, he would simply go to a surgeon, spend less than 500 rupees to get the pregnancy medically terminated. In societies where daughters are seen as social and economic burdens, in cultures where societal pressures and deeply ingrained prejudices against female child are a norm, in societies where daughters' weddings impose a heavy financial burden families because of the practice of dowry, the belief that girls are a burden takes shape. The high premiums on son and low demand for daughters explain the high demand for sex-selective abortions. A popular advertisement for a clinic that offers sex-determinative tests in Delhi reads, spend 500 rupees now, save 50,000 rupees later. The ads are very tempting indeed. Don't be penny wise, pound foolish. Spend 500 rupees now. Get rid of that girl. This will save you from spending 50,000 rupees when the girl grows up. A little voice tells every penny pinching father. The Arabic legend reminds such a heartless father when both he and his daughter will be raised up again. The merciless father is reminded in the Arabic legend that one day he is going to meet his daughter. He is going to pay for his crime. When the girl who he buried alive, the daughter is going to ask her father, he will have to look into the eye of his child and answer some simple but tough questions. Bi-ayyi zambin qutila. What was my crime? What was my sin? Why did you kill me? Will I have the courage to face my daughter on the day of judgment, on the day of accountability? Will I not be punished for my crimes? Today, as I see my daughter grow and fulfill my ambitions, I feel sorry for myself. I look back on the way I was then, a young, stupid man with his stupid ideas of wanting a son badly. I feel like talking to that young man. I want to try and talk some sense to him, tell him the way things are, but unfortunately I can't. What made you wish for a son? What made you think that your son will do better than your daughter? I'm sure the young myself will not have any answer. Thank God I did not have the courage to bury my daughter alive. Thank God good sense prevailed upon me and I did not listen to my dirty self. Dear friends, as we celebrate the International Women's Day, let us ask ourselves a question. Let us think, if my mother was a man, would that man raise me? Raising a child is the most irrational act. an act with absolutely no returns. And only a mother, only a woman will have the courage to do it. By the time the child grows up, the mother is going to be old or even maybe dead. The grown-up child is almost of no use to the mother. Yet the mother chooses to bring the child into her world. Let us salute the courage of the women we know, our wives, our daughters, our mothers, our colleagues, our friends, our maids. Let us ask ourselves to imagine a day without our women in our lives. You might think this is a 7th century problem. This is an Arab problem. This is a 1980 problem. Women are strong now, financially independent. Think again as we watch in the horror, the spine-chilling selfie video of Aisha Khan in Ahmedabad committing suicide. Let us ask ourselves, have we really become an advanced civilization, an evolved society? Thank you very much, dear Toastmasters.
We shall now observe 2 minutes of silence for the judges to mark their ballots and tally their scores. Timers, please start 2-minute timer.
Timer Divya, can you change it to blue, please?
Thank you, timers. Zoom moderator, can you please move the chief judge, tally counters, and the timers to the breakout room? Can you please confirm that they've been moved to the breakout room?
Yeah, chief judge and timers have been moved. Tally counter.
Yes, tally counter is also in the room.
Thank you. We shall now move to the participation certificate distribution session. I will go ahead and share my screen, and in the same speaking order, the participation certificate will also be shared. Um, First up, Toastmaster Agnes. Moderator, would we be taking a screenshot? Okay, thank you. First, Toastmaster Agnes. Please confirm once you've done with the screenshot. I'll move to the next.
No, okay, just a second. Done.
Thank you. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Nitin.
Toastmaster Nitin can be okay. Done.
Thank you. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Ramya.
Done.
Thank you. Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Wasim.
Done.
Thank you so much. Thank you all the contestants. We shall now wait for the Zoom master, the chief judge, tally counter, and the timers to be back into the room. I see the timers and chief judge back in the room. Do we have the tally counter also back in the main room?
No, not it.
Okay.
We have the chief judge in the room.
Okay. Chief judge, are you
Yes,
back in the main room?
Yes.
All right, thank you. With this, I am pleased to announce that the International Speech Contest of Area G4 has come to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a thundering round of applause for all the contestants. It has indeed been a great learning experience and an absolute pleasure conducting this contest. And you have been a wonderful audience. Please give it up to yourself. Thank you to one and all. Signing off, your contest master, Chaitra Srinivasan. I'll be back towards the end of the contest to announce the results. Thank you. Back to you, contest chair, Toastmaster Chandrakant.
Thank you, Chaitra. The results are not announced, so I'll not talk anything about ISC now. But now, with that said, how many of you get irritated when you see an ad in between the video on a YouTube? Can I see some raise of hands? Majority of us. How many of you feel like breaking the screen when there is no skip button for that ad? Right? Don't worry. Today I am that ad that keeps coming in between and keep disturbing you where you don't have a skip button though. After such a thought-provoking speeches and awesome deliveries of content, I'm sure we are pumped up to witness the table topic contest. Sit tight and fasten your belt. We have one more power pack session coming up. Over to the humorous speaker, Toastmaster Jeevitha, who is as energized ever, being a contest master for the table topic contest. Over to you, Toastmaster Jeevitha. Jeevitha, we can't hear you.
Audio check, video check, it's fine. You contest chair Chandrakant. Second chance is always good. So today I'm taking the second chance by connecting from my phone. So welcome you all to the Area G-Force contest table topic contest. We will now begin the table topic contest. I would like to read the purpose of the contest as defined by the Toastmasters. To provide an opportunity to learn by observing the more proficient speakers who have benefited from their Toastmasters training, to encourage development of impromptu and an extemporaneous speaking skills, and to recognize the best as encouragement to all. Now, I will read the rules for the table topic contest. It has been confirmed that all the contestants are eligible to be eligible as a contestants. Be a Toastmasters in a good standing of club, not presently an international, district or area offices, nor have declared the intent to run for such offices. All contestants shall receive the same topic, which shall be of general nature. The topic shall be of reasonable length, shall not require detailed knowledge, and should lead to an opinion or conclusion. All contestants will be escorted out to the breakout room by the sergeant at arms and return to the room one by one by the tech moderator. The topic is then read to each contestant who shall speak on the same topic. Other than the contestants, no one will be allowed in or out of the room when the contest has begun until the last speaker has spoken the topic. The time of the table topic is to be 1 to 2 minutes. Any speaker speaking lesser than 1 or more than 2 minutes 30 seconds will be disqualified. The timing lights will be activated as follows. Timer, can you please activate the lights at, as I say, green light at 1 minute, yellow light at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red light at 2 minutes. And it will stay until the speaker has finished speaking. So timer, I hope you have tested the timings. Yes. Timing starts or begins with the first word uttered or when the speaker uses any form of communication to the audience. There will be 1 minute of silence between speakers so that the judges may complete their ballot sheets. At the end of the contest, all are to remain silent until tally counters have collected the judges' ballot sheets. Judges have been instructed not to consider the time in their ranking of speakers. The chief judge confirms that all the judges have been briefed and are qualified to judge this contest. There is a secret tiebreaker judge known only to the chief judge. The protest may be entered only by the contestants or voting judge to either the chief judge or to the contest chair. Announcement of the contestant winners is final unless the list of winners is announced incorrectly, in which case the chief judge, ballot counter, or the timers are permitted to immediately interrupt to correct the errors if so. Contestants, are there any question? Right. So the order of the contestants was selected randomly and shared across. Chief Judge, are we ready to go?
Yes, we are ready to go.
Okay. May I now request the tech moderator to move except the contestant number 1, Vishal. To the rest of the folks, along with the sergeant attempts to the breakout room.
And let them, as we discussed, they have to keep their audio video on in the breakout room also.
Sure. Tech moderator, kindly confirm once the contestants and the SAA sergeant attempts are moved to the breakout room.
Confirm. All have been moved except contestant number 1.
Thank you, tech moderator. The chief judge have been given three options out of for the table topic contest, and we have got one of the option as the topic. Contestant number 1, Vishal. Your topic is, what would you do differently if you know nobody would? Yeah, sorry.
Jivita, just a second. Chief Judge wants.
You have to give 1 minute time because he just went out. No, we have to give that option for him also.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Timer, could you please activate the timing? 1 minute timing. Chief Judge, are we good to go?
Did we see the timer lights? I don't think we have seen the timer lights at the Chief Judge. We're just waiting for one moment. Yeah, we are good to go. Thank you. Thank you, Chief Judge.
Okay. Contestant number 1, Vishal. What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? Contestant number 1, Vishal, over to you.
Good afternoon, Madam Toastmaster and my fellow Toastmasters. What would you do when you know people won't judge you? Isn't it an exciting prospect? I mean, how would life change when I know I can just go out, do whatever I want, say whatever my heart feels, and I know people won't judge me. If this could happen to me, my life would totally change. To be honest, I don't go out much. I don't attend my family gatherings even. Forget about speaking to a person of opposite gender or make a friendship. It's not possible because I'm always afraid to be judged. I'm always afraid that the other person would understand that, okay, this guy, he fears talking. He doesn't have the confidence. Fear to be judged that I am not capable enough. I'm not competent enough. I don't go out. I don't talk to strangers. I don't make friends. Even though I like someone, I will never say them. I live in my own confined world with my own set of people. That's how life is for me because I fear of being judged. Had I known that, okay, no one would judge me, I would go out, I would make friends, I would live my life to the fullest, I would apply to the next good job and whatnot. I mean, it's infinite. But yes, people do judge, and I stay where I am. Thank you, Madam Toastmasters.
Let's stay. Timer, can you please activate the timer card? Let's stay on silence for 1 minute for the judges to mark their ballots. Chief Judge, are we good to go? Chief Judge, are we good to
Yes.
go?
Yeah. Bring the contestant, ask for the audio video check, then you can give the topic.
Sure. Contestant number 2, Agdev Sharma, could you repeat what I said? Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3. Contestant number 2, Agdev Sharma, could you repeat what I say? Today is a good day. And do 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3.
Chief Judge,
Okay.
are we good to go?
Yes, I think we have
You
got it.
just give a thumbs up. Yeah.
Good to go, good to go.
Okay. Okay. Contestant number 2, Agnev Sharma, what would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? Agnev Sharma, over to you.
Madam Toastmaster, thank you for that very relatable topic to all of us. Haven't we all felt that we've been judged at some point of time in our lives? Have you ever stopped yourself because you were judged by some people in your life? Yes? Because I have done it for such a long time that I cannot tell you enough. You know, when I was in college or even before college, I never used to speak on stage. I just couldn't get the energy to speak on stage. I always used to think that these people are watching me. And when I go on stage, they'll just start laughing at me. They'll just throw tomatoes at me or maybe just shoot things at me because they hate me so much. I had the problem, the fear of being judged. And also another problem, the wanting to be perfect. And I think all of us who just raised their hands today and relate to this topic will relate to the fact that we all have this. Some of us have the fear of being judged. And that completely comes because we have this tendency of being perfect. We all have been there. So one thing which I can tell you guys is, which comes with age too, that when you listen to a person who's 20, who's really afraid of themselves, they'll tell you, you know what? I cannot do this. I have a fear of being judged. But when you listen to a person who's grown up more, that is when you realize that they have just made so many mistakes that they can kind of do well with it. So last year, I was at this event. It was known as Empark. It's a college event by Toastmasters community. I don't know if you've been there. And I went on stage, I started speaking. 5 minutes into the competition, I realized the children are making faces. They're teenagers, and you know, teenagers is the worst crowd which you'll have. They look at you and start staring at your phone because they want to make you feel bad about yourself. When you turn back, they laugh at you because they want to just get you in that position where you just feel bad about yourself. And I really bombed that whole show. And I started feeling, you know what? I'm just so done. I cannot do Toastmasters anymore. I go to the ISC next year, I fail miserably. I'm like, oh my God, I just cannot do Toastmasters anymore. I'm not winning. But then when the time passed, I realized one fine day I was giving a speech and a person came to me after my speech and told me, you know what? Your speech actually helped me to solve a problem in my life. And that is when I realized that, maybe things are not about being perfect. Things are about getting your stuff out there. So people, don't think of what you'll do when you don't get judged. Start doing it today. Don't be perfect. Off to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Let's observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballot.
Jivita, we have the red card.
Tech moderator, thank you. Chief Judge, are we good to go?
We are waiting for contestant 3 to join.
Jivita, we have the contestant 3 and we have a go ahead from Chief Judge.
Thank you, Tech moderator. Contestant number 3, Shankara Narayanan. Could you repeat what I say? Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3. Contestant number 3, Shankara Narayanan. Could you repeat what I say? Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3.
Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3.
Chief Judge, are we good to go?
No, contestant, can you repeat?
Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3.
He's not loud. Can you just repeat once again, please?
Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief Judge. Contestant number 3, Shankara Narayanan. What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? Shankara Narayanan, what would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? Over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Talk about being put in a rock and a hard place, between a rock and a hard place. As table topics come and go, they say, think on your feet. But actually, when it comes to these topics, I'm put on my ground. So the topic, what would I do if nobody would judge me? First of all, I do a lot of things thinking that nobody is judging me. Secondly, what I do is I am known to a lot of people that I'm a bit rebellious and I made a lot of enemies because I've been doing things with a non-judgmental way of attitude. I've been called hypocrite. I've been called rude. I've been called comical. I've been called dumb. So yes, I've never actually cared what other people think because it's none of my business what other people think. It's their business. So if I were to know that people wouldn't judge me, this place, this entire universe that we live in would be a much better place. it would be more peaceful. There would be less wars. There would be less racism. There would be less amount of torture. There would be less ridicule among the people if you did not judge a person. If you judge a person by his behavior, if you judge a person by his race, by the way or how much money he makes, or how he feels in the society, or what status he maintains in the society, it would be a much wonderful world. You have recently known that the Chinese Americans have been targeted in the US. People actually go and cough in their mouths or cough in their faces saying, "You caused the coronavirus." That is absolutely really bonkers. Those are innocent people. Those are just people like you and me. Don't judge them by the fact that they look different. Judge them with their intelligence, judge them with their kindness, compassion, and the way they treat people. So I always advocate to my sister not to judge people on how they judge you. You judge them on how you want them to be. So I've always lived my life without judgment. So I hope everybody also does the same thing. Thank you.
Let us observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballot. Thank you, timer. Tech moderator, could you confirm if contestant number 4 has joined the main room?
Yes, we see a thumbs up from Chief Judge and AD.
Contestant number 4, Nitin Bhagat, could you repeat what I say? Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3. Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3.
Today is a good day. 1, 2, 3.
Chief Judge, are we good to go?
Yes.
Thank you for the confirmation. Contestant number 4, Nitin Bhagat, what would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? Nitin Bhagat, over to you.
Dear Toastmasters, why are we here? We are here to improve. We are here to be a better speaker. If there's one thing that I would do differently, if nobody would be judging me, is I would be a much better speaker. And I'm being a hypocrite here because back in school, I used to see all of these annual day performances, which used to happen once every year. I used to see stage plays on that day. And the first thing that would hit my head is, oh my God, there's so much overacting happening there. At that time, it never occurred to me that they're just in the character. And all of that overacting that I used to call was actually essential for their delivery. because of that, my public speaking journey in the start has been hampered. Because every time I would give a speech, I would be mellow, I wouldn't be loud, I wouldn't show a lot of emotions. And one constant feedback that I got was that there's no voice modulation. It feels very flat throughout the speech. And then I turned it and I said that, hey, I need to be a better speaker. And in order to do that, I need to express myself out more often. I don't care what people say about me. I don't care if they say that it's over dramatic. I don't care if they say that it's going out of hand. But as long as I make an impact on the stage, I need to get this done. So at the end of the day, if you see me being over dramatic, if you see me dancing and doing a Hrithik Roshan style over here, that's just for the fact that I want to make an impact. And I don't care if I'm being judged or not. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Let us observe 2 minutes of silence for the judges to mark their ballots.
Master Jivita, we have a read from a timer.
Thank you. Tech moderator, could you please move the chief judge along with the tally counter and also the timers to the breakout room?
Everyone has been moved.
Thank you, tech moderator. I hope we had a wonderful contest. So let's have the participation certificate. So while I call out the name, the contest chair, could you please share your screen and present the participation certificates? Contestant number 1, Vishal Rathi. Could you, let's hear the applause for Vishal Rathi for participating in the Area G4 table topic contest.
So,
Contestant number.
We don't have Vishal.
Sorry?
We have Vishal on the meeting. Zoom
Yeah, probably he is left. That's okay. Contestant number 2, Agniv Sharma. Could you please, also spotlight Agniv Sharma. Thank you. Contestant number.
Jivita, just a second. I don't see Agniv yet on Spotlight. Okay. So I haven't clicked a picture.
I'm spotlighting him.
Okay.
Good.
Good to go. Yeah.
Thank you. Contest chair, could you please spotlight Shankaranarayanan and also display Shankaranarayanan's participation certificate?
Good to go.
Thank you. Contest chair, could you display Nitin Bhagat's participation certificate and also spotlight Nitin Bhagat?
Good to go.
Thank you. Do we have the chief judge along with the tally counters and the timers back in the main room?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
We'll wait for 2 minutes.
Okay. Can we get the feedback from the audience meanwhile and the contestants?
Yes, we can.
So we'll start with, I'm getting an electric shock. Yeah. We'll start with Agnev Sharma, contestant 2. Would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, surely. Ma'am, first things, are you fine? You just said I'm getting an electric shock, then you continued with the whole thing. You were like, Toastmasters is more important than my life. Electric shocks, that happen every day. But but great event again. I think this is the maximum participation in an area contest which we have seen. At one point you hit 40-41, I guess. So congratulations, Nikhil. Congratulations, Mazahir. Everyone, great arrangement. I really liked it. Also, I got to hear like 2 table topics. So both of them you spoke really very well. In speeches, I was taking a breather, so I have no idea what was happening. I just let my headphones down and I was like, okay, bathe in the glory. Don't listen to others and feel that you did good. Because if you listen to others, you'll know that you didn't. So that was it from my side. Off to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Agnew. Thank you. So really, I'm getting a shock because if I touch my laptop, there's a shock. I don't know from where. I am actually sitting connected with all wires. So probably, yeah. Thank you. So could we hear the feedback from Shankara Narayanan, the contestant number 3?
Yeah, it was perfectly arranged. There were no glitches. So that's up to the people who arranged it. Thanks a lot. And the speeches were excellent as well. I could hear, I heard all the speeches, so it's pretty good.
Thank you, Shankara Narayanan. Contestant number 4, Nitin, would you like to share your thought?
Yeah, thanks, Jeevita. I think the best part about the contest was the fact that I made an online friend abroad. The sergeant at arms who was there in the breakout room, she's from a different district, and we were just sharing our experiences of the difference between one district and the other, and the experience of online meetings. So great event, great contest. Can't wait for the results. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Nitin. I hope the chief judge, along with the timer and the tally counter, is back. Tech moderator, could you please confirm?
Yeah, confirm. Everyone is back.
Thank you. So I hope you all had a wonderful Area G4 speech as well as table topic contest, having this Saturday, making this Saturday a fun-filled and thoughtful Saturday. So with this, I will hand over the stage back to the contest chair. Contest chair, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jeevita. The unskippable ad is back. This time, it's my time. The more amount of time I am on screen, there are 8 people approximately who is cursing me because I'm holding their results. I have been there and I know how it looks like. So guys, I'll not budge you more. I'll hand over the podium to Contest Master Chaitra to give out the IS results.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chandrakant. And congratulations to all the participants today. Great job, both ISE and table topics. Like Chandrakant said, I don't want to hold back from announcing the results, so I'll just go ahead and share my screen. I will be announcing starting from the 3rd place.
Chaitra, just hold on. You might want to ask the chief judge
Yes.
if there was qualification or something.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Mazail. No, that's okay. Chief Judge, can you please confirm if there were any disqualifications? Do we have Chief Judge in the room?
Yeah, we have.
I was
okay.
there. Mazar made
Sorry.
me mute, so I could not speak. All right.
Okay, Chief Judge, shall I go ahead and announce the results?
Let me just speak for 2 minutes, then you can announce so that
Yeah, please,
I can
please
get an
go ahead.
opportunity.
Yes,
At
yes,
the outset,
please.
I must thank DTM Divya, who gave me an opportunity to be the chief judge with this amazing people. And I always believe that dreaming, after all, is a form of planning. What I could see in G4 when I had met yesterday with all the contestants and the role takers, it was well planned. That's how we could see how well it was placed. A wonderful job. And also, I would like to thank my joyful judges who could not come and speak to each and everyone, but they had a tough time to choose the best, and they've done a very good job. And there are two things. One, there is no protest. Number two, there's no disqualification for timing, which is very, very good for this area. With this, over to Chaitra.
Thank you so much, Chief Judge. Now I will go ahead and announce the results. I think there was almost a sneak peek there, but I'm sorry about that. And I will go ahead and share my screen again. At third place, we have contestant Toastmaster Wasim. Toastmaster Wasim, can all of you please unmute yourselves? The serious part of the contest is done, so now I guess we can let our hair down and give a thunderous round of applause for all the winners, starting with Wasim. So. And a moderator, please confirm after you have taken a pick.
I need Wasim on Spotlight. Contester, can you help me with that? Contester. Okay.
Hi.
Three, two, one, and click. Got it.
Thank you, Nikhil. And Wasim, if you could unmute yourself and share a few words, we would love to hear you again.
Thanks, Chaitra. This was my first experience, and very professional and very well organized. I got overwhelmed for a minute when I got not used to so much formality and so much of professionalism there. Great job. That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wasim. Before I proceed to announcing the second and the first place, I would like to recorrect what I had mentioned earlier on while announcing the rules of the contest, IAC contest. Both the winners of the first place and the second place in the contest today will be representing at the Division G level IAC contest to be held in April. So with that, I will move to announcing the second place winner. At second place, we have Toastmaster Nitin. Let's give him a huge round of applause, Toastmaster Nitin. Congratulations, Nitin. And also, could you please, okay, let's wait for Nikhil to click a pick and we'll then talk to you.
Done.
Done? Okay, cool. Nitin, would you like to share a few words?
Yeah, since I'm moving on to the next level, I can just say that it has been an amazing contest. I've had a lot of fun. It's great contesting, and I hope that I continue to do that in future as well. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster Chaitra.
Thank you so much, Nitin. It was a pleasure hearing you speak. And finally, we will now reveal the first place winner. At first place, we have Toastmaster Agnev. Let's give him a huge round of applause, guys. Toastmaster Agnev. Congratulations, Agnev. I'll just take a momentary pause for the pic to be taken, and then we'll chat with you.
Agnev, smile. Done.
ऐसे साइड में डिंपल आता होना चाहिए.
कोई नहीं, we'll do a photo session after this meeting.
Yeah, sure.
Certificate भी अपने पास है, meeting भी.
Agnev? Yes.
Yeah. Again, great. I mean, I think this is the second time I'm coming first on the area contest after the very first time of This Is Not My Passion. So again, very special. I've missed this a lot in the last few years. First time when it happened, I was like, okay, everybody comes first. Now I realize how important this is. So very special. And for everybody who spoke, like, I did not hear you, my bad, but I know you have done wonderfully well. So yeah, that's it. Like, that summarizes everything.
Thank you so much, Agnev. And once again, congratulations to all the winners. With that, I will be signing off and handing over back to the contest chair. Thank you. It was a pleasure to be your host for the IAC contest today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chaitra. I always get confused with Chaitra. Yeah, you're right. So now moving on to the table topics. Before that, I'm unfortunate that no one is asking me my opinion. Fine, I know I'm not going to budge you more. People will kill me now. So, Contest Master Jeevita, can I go ahead and present the results?
Yes. Go ahead.
Can someone confirm if they're able to see my screen?
I see your screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Intentionally, I have put something so that I will not have the sneak peek into the results. And here we go, starting with the second runner-up for the table topics contest. It is Vishal Rati. Big round of applause for him. We don't have him on the call, so you can take a picture with me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, sure. Okay, moving forward. If you are done, yeah. Moving forward.
Yeah, done.
The second place and the first runner-up goes to Toastmaster Nitin.
Nitin, smile. That's exactly how I'm going to capture it now. Done.
Thank you, Nitin. Moving on to the first participant, first winner, Toastmaster Agnew. Agnew, a bigger smile.
This side, this time the dimple from the other side, please.
Dimple है नहीं यार, एक ही तरफ है. Birth defect.
कोई नहीं. We'll do a mirror reflection. पता नहीं चलेगा.
Yeah. Wait.
Done.
Thank you very much, and I congratulate the winners as well as the participants. A great job done. I really thank Toastmasters, the team who is behind that. On that note, I'm not taking the vote of notes. I'll hand over the session to my close aide, area director G4 Nickel. Over to you.
Background effects. Thank you, Chandrakant. Thanks a lot. But before I go ahead and give my vote of thanks and I relieve you all, we have very special guest here with us. She has been here right from the moment Chandrakant stopped the introduction and started the contest, just a couple of minutes late, and that's how we missed her introduction. May I welcome our Division G Director, DTM Ayushi Jain. Guys, give a big round of applause.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I think I got just 2 minutes late because of the internet today. And yes, I think I missed a lot, but I got a lot. I mean, I was completely spellbound the way this contest has happened. Like Chandrakant mentioned, most of you are maiden role takers, and the way you have taken up the role and performed it, superb, superb. Everyone, please let's clap for everyone who came here on the stage, from the contestant to the role taker to the judges to the Zoom moderator, everyone. Let's and to the audience, please. I am one of them. Because it's not easy to come here on a Saturday evening when we could party out, because the whole world is not locked up, and we can do a lot, but we have chosen to contribute and to learn something, and that's what's amazing. Also, what's amazing is Area G4, because I have always got it. I think Area G4 is one of the most stable areas of not just my division, not just our district, entire I think Karnataka, one of the most stable division, who has never seen any complaints. They were always doing good. They're so self-sufficient and all together, and the fun that they bring, the memes, the ideas, the amazing ideas that you have. All I have a complaint is that you guys just change Area G4. You guys don't step out. This is one ask as a division director I have for all of you. But still, you have time. You still have 2-3 months left to do that. We have our area division event on April 10th. Make sure each one of you step out and take part in it. There are various contests happening in the next 2-3 months. Make sure you listen to me, fulfill my this wish, this small little wish, and go and participate outside Area G4. And please feel free to tag me, send me a picture, take my number from Nikhil. He has my number. Please spread my number to anyone who wants to. But please fulfill this wish of me. That's the only thing I have. And please keep rocking, keep smiling, and keep making others happy, because you guys are really doing phenomenal, especially in these tough times. You're not just making yourself happy, but you're making my life so happy, Nikhil's life so happy. Let's just look at him, the way he's happy with, just because of all of you. Thank you so much. And we had an amazing contest. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you. And now let's hear the AD address from Nikhil.
Thank you, Ayushi. Thanks a lot. I think you have put it very well. I'm really happy because people, entire area comes together, whatever it is, whichever contest, whichever area event or division event it is there, they are there and they're there to support me. And like you said, I think you were 2 minutes late and still you got kind of missed. So that actually shows how punctual we were. And credit goes to our SA and the entire team, the entire preparation which went last night and last evening and today morning also. We joined a couple minutes back. So kudos, a great job to each and every member of the team. Now, I'm not going to say just each and every member of the team. I'm going to recognize each and everyone individually. So this is going to be a long vote of thanks. So if you have a glass of water, you want to take a sip of tea, please go ahead, feel free. And I love if you guys can come up on the video. That will really help me, start my vote of thanks. Now everyone is ready. Everyone had their water. Awesome, awesome. And here we go. First and foremost, the biggest thank you goes to our contest chair. He has put together the entire show. I'm not kidding. I asked him that will you be contest chair and you will take care of everything. He said, I'll take care of it. I was very occupied, but he did all the role takers and everything. A big round of applause to Toastmaster Chandrakant for being the contest chair and being the head of this entire event. Chandrakant, now we can take a picture if you want. But it will be difficult for me. So I'm really sorry. I'll take a picture later. Okay. And next, of course, our contest master for the ISC, Toastmaster Chaitra. A big round of applause to Toastmaster Chaitra. She's always there. I don't even have to ask her now. If there is any form that I put up on the group and she'll directly fill in, That's the biggest help that I have. And same goes for our Toastmaster Jivita from Juniper. She took the job very well on the table topic contest master. A big round of applause for both of these ladies.
Nikhil, give me a minute. I'm taking the snaps.
Okay, awesome.
Done.
I think Toastmaster Jivita has proved her commitment time and again. Today, even with her shock, she just moved on directly. She said, okay, Agniv stressed it enough. I'm not going to repeat it, but thank you, Toastmaster Jivita, and thank you, Toastmaster Chaitra, for taking up the roles and doing a fantastic job. Next, of course, Toastmaster DTM Jagdish, our Chief Judge for today. I know there was a change, and Toastmaster DTM Jagdish, I'm really thankful to you for taking up the role last minute. Again, a great job and handling the entire show so well. We are highly indebted to you. A big round of applause for.
Thank you so much.
Next, we go to our role takers. First, our essay, the reason why Toastmaster Ayushi got missed by 2 minutes. He is the one who started the meeting exactly on time. So a big round of applause. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Ayushi. Then we have Toastmaster Varta. She was the second essay who stayed in the table topics contestants. Toastmaster Varta, how was the mood there? If you are there on the call, do you want to share?
I think she dropped them.
That's okay. Perfect. Then we have timer 1, Toastmaster Divya. Thank you again for taking up the role.
Thank you, sir, for giving me
Thank
this.
you. Now finally we can see Toastmaster Divya's face also. These are the fantastic people who remain hidden behind the cam. In fact, they have their cameras on, but still they have to remain hidden, and they continue to do their job so amazingly well. And then we have Toastmaster Neha. Big round of applause to both the timers. Next up is our tally counter, Toastmaster Raksha. Do we have her on the call?
No.
Okay.
I think we have. My apologies.
We have, right?
I'm here, Nikhil.
I'm sorry.
Actually, my name is Rakshanda.
I'll edit it. I'll modify it.
Thank you.
I took it from the WhatsApp group, and I think there it was written probably in a short form. So my bad. But thanks a lot for taking up this role.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next up, the people who have remained hidden, Toastmaster Ratan and Toastmaster Gopalakrishnan, who were our PR people. They took care of making the posters, the GIFs, the messages, and everything. A big round of applause to both of them. Then we have Toastmaster Arushi. She was a part. She took different roles. She supported as a program chair, and then she was there to take up a backup Zoom moderator role as well. So a big round of applause to her as well. So thank you all the role takers. Now comes the contestants, the winners, and everyone who participated. Without them, again, the contest is not possible. If the role takers are there, but the quality of the contest is actually in the hands of these people. And like everyone has said, I'm always proud of this lot, how amazing speaker each and every club has. And here I again agree with our DTM Ayushi Jain that we have to go out of our area and to division, to district, to every place wherever we can go and show how well we are doing. So this is the wish, which is not just Ayushi, but I also share the same wish that we all have to go out of our nest and shine away. Next, each and every club, whether it is Western Digital Podium Panache, Toastmaster, Juniper Club, Lexicon, Trailblazers, Soundbites, each and every member of this club, I have got to know each one of them here and there. I have attended the meetings or somewhere, someplace. And I'm so happy that whenever there is a need, they are there to take roles and everything. So that big round of applause to each one of us, all the audience members and all the clubs. Now in audience, I also see some of the non-Toastmasters. I believe I know a couple of them. Actually, there are only a couple. So yeah, thank you for here with us. Thank you for being here with us. Next, I like to thank my fellow area directors, Toastmaster Srinidhi from Area G3, Toastmaster Ajay from Area G2, Toastmaster Karthika from Area G1. These guys had always remained a constant support for me throughout the year. So I'll share with you guys now. Now it's almost the end of the year. We have only 3 months left and couple of small events, activities here and there. We have done 75% of the year almost. So I never had thought that I'll become area director, but I became because of the motivation from certain people. Our previous area director, Toastmaster Abhinav, our current Division G director, Toastmaster Ayushi. In fact, I see our previous area director, Toastmaster Narayanan, also here. All these guys supported me and motivated me. But once I became, then how to make things go through, these 3 guys, my fellow area directors, were there with me always and to support me from external side, whatever has to be done. And what has to be done first is the planning phase. For planning phase, they were there. And for execution phase, my clubs were there. So a big round of applause to all of you. Without you guys, this would not have been possible. The only bittersweet moment today I had was there's one special thing that Chandrakant mentioned. I think when he said that he has been at the stage where the results were withheld because someone was speaking, he was mentioning specifically to me, and that is something that I would have loved to go. So that is the only bittersweet moment I had. I would have loved to make 8 contestants wait till the end of my vote of thanks, but that didn't happen. That's okay. So for that also, I thank our contest masters and our chief judge that they actually stole away that opportunity for me. I'm really thankful to all of you because I do that, but I would have also got the guilt after that. So thank you one and all. And I also see our previous area director, Toastmaster Mazahir here, previous when the Abhinav was here. So thank you, thank you Mazahir also for your constant support. I believe that is the end of my area director address and also my vote of thanks. Thanks a lot, guys. That's the only word. I know I have been using it too many times. I cannot put it in words. Actually, that's again another problem. Last time I had prepared a lot of words. This time I thought I'll just directly speak, and now I know I should not have done that. Also, last time I prepared, and that time Toastmaster Ayushi took all the words coming before me. So I thought, this fine, she'll take care of it. She'll speak all the words and I don't have to. Well, that's the end of